coming up on SCTV3, we have the newest edition of Liam's Locations.
Plus, learn more about the Alden Street Acapella and their recent performance.
All that and more tonight on SCTV3.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to this edition of SCTV3. I'm Connor Rourke.
And I'm Callum McCander. Thank you for joining us tonight.
We start tonight's show not here on Alden Street like we often do, but not too far away on Boston Road in Springfield. Bentley's Barbershop has been serving the Springfield community since its grand opening in 2022. The shop's mission is to capture a classic old-school vibe. Its barbers dress in three-piece black suits, and a pool table is included in the space to keep clients entertained while waiting in their chair for their turn.
Located on 1333 Boston Road, Bentley's Barbershop has set to boost the energy of the street and the city of Springfield. The shop offers classic haircuts for $30, beard trims for $20, and their own products such as pomade and texture powder. Bentley's has a total of 8 barbers, and to see what the Bentley's experience was like, I sat down with one of them and got to know the man behind the blade.
What are your daily tasks kind of include? What does a day look like for you?
Day looks like for me, I get here about 9 o'clock, make sure everything's ready to go, all the radio's on, all that. You know, cut hair, make sure this place is somewhat clean, and if for some reason we got some downtime, play a little pool.
Panetta works at Bentley's from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. each weekday and sees a variety of clients, with 50% of them being college students. Taking into account all the clients Panetta cuts hair for, one question came to mind.
So usually I get a buzz one, cut the top short, blend it in. What is your favorite haircut to give?
My favorite haircut, good question. It's between two. I like a good classic, like slick back, and I also like a nice mid-skin fade with a little texture on top.
Before he became a barber, Panetta was a teacher. It wasn't until he was 36 where, after giving haircuts to his nephews, that Panetta wanted to become a barber. Panetta has been at Bentley's Barbershop for exactly 4 years and sees cutting hair as more than a job.
At the end of the day, you never know who's sitting in your chair. So they could be going through a lot of hard times, a lot of tough times, and I give them a haircut and make their day feel better, let them have a better day. Because we don't just cut hair, we are somewhat therapists at times also, so it's just a good feeling to make somebody feel good about themselves.
Walking into Bentley's, the black and gold design of the shop catches your attention almost immediately. The design of Bentley's and the professional dress standard for the barbers helps the shop live up to its self-appointed title, the classiest barbershop in Massachusetts.
The one thing about barbering is you do get a turnover of barbers. That's one thing that's kind of hard to judge, but what's unique about us is the vibe's different. The way we try to dress very professional, and give a good service, good haircut, good service, in a safe environment for kids and families.
After the interview, something unique I picked up on was the interactive elements at Bentley's. A pool table to play while you're waiting, a TV to watch while you're in the chair, and barbers who don't shy away from asking their clients how their day has been. Not only was the experience a positive, but I'd say my haircut came out pretty fresh as well.
If you ever come to Bentley's, don't forget to bring cash. However, if you do forget to bring cash, there's an ATM inside. Bentley's is open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Liam Riley.
The Tom Waddell Sports and Value Symposium is one of the marquee events hosted on campus each spring. This year's edition showcased a bond between two programs here on ST's campus and honoring one of the Pride's standout student athletes. SCTV3's Nick Pantages has more.
The 11th annual Tom Waddell Sports and Value Symposium was held last Friday in the Dodge Room with a modern twist to its theme. The event was titled It's No Joke, a play on the controversial incident where President Donald Trump joked to the men's ice hockey team at the 2026 Winter Olympics in February that he would be impeached if he did not invite the women's team alongside them. This year's speaking portion was centered around equality through sports, featuring men's and women's basketball head coaches Michael McClendon and Naomi Graves, alongside 2 other student athletes from each team. The teams have forged a bond in recent years, something McClendon hoped continues into the future following Graves' retirement at the end of this academic year.
Hopefully they have that same thought process to say, hey, we're one program, and that's something me and that coach will work towards, and the players that's here already, they know that, so hopefully it can continue from a player side. But as far as me and the other coach working together, that's something I'm going to make sure I'm working actively to do, to make sure we're on the same page, that we're one program. But I do think any coach that comes in, they're going to have that understanding through the process when they get hired, knowing like Springfield College is about family, it's about community. So
The winner of the Tom Waddell Leveling the Playing Field Award was also announced at the event, as is its custom, and it was given to junior Haley Gatos. Gatos is a two-sport athlete on the field hockey and women's lacrosse teams, who is also heavily involved with SALT, the Student Athlete Leadership Team, and the school's Team Impact program.
I think knowing the impact that we have on the kids, my first summit that I went to, there's always a parent panel, so the parents get to come out and talk to the fellows, and a dad stood up and said like he was just super grateful for the work that we do, but really just thankful that we were his kids' first friends, and so that was really cool to hear, and the fact that we get to connect with them on such a like teammate level, but they're not technically our teammates, it just makes it even more special.
For her work with these organizations, Gatos was honored with the award, and being compared to an icon like Waddell is something that Gatos will not take for granted.
I was more than honored. Obviously I don't think anyone would think that they're compared to an athlete like Tom Waddell or a person like Tom Waddell, so it was really truly a really big honor, and I'm very grateful.
Tom Waddell's legacy can best be described as a champion athlete, but more importantly, a champion for the rights of others. With that in mind, it is imperative that Springfield College continues to honor his legacy. With SCTV3, I'm Nick Pantages.
Earlier today, the yearly Humanics lecture was held in the Fuller Arts Center. This school's year's Distinguished Professor of Humanics, Dr. Rebecca Lartigue, gave a lecture on the value of curiosity. Lartigue is the director of Springfield's honors program and said that she wants students to be curious in all of their coursework and aspects of life. Her programs throughout the year, during her term as Distinguished Professor of Humanics, focused on cultivating curiosity in all aspects of the curriculum. For Lartigue, it was a distinct honor to be recognized with the title.
It was quite an honor to be recognized. This is one of the highest faculty honors on campus, and many, many people are deserving of it, so I'm very humbled and honored to be a part.
Following Dr. Lartigue's lecture, Dr. Ted France, Professor of Physical Education, was announced as Springfield College's Distinguished Professor of Humanics for the upcoming 2026-27 academic year. In addition, a collection of current students received a Friends of Humanics scholarship.
This Monday, Professor Dr. Fadia Norviet and her advanced public relations class, along with other communications and sports journalism instructors, plus students, welcomed back 2010 COSJ alum Julian McKinley to campus as a featured 2026 communications speaker. During his time at Springfield College, Julian was involved with all 3 student media clubs and continued in journalism after graduation, before landing a career in professional communications and public relations. He now serves as the co-executive director at the Democracy at Work Institute, where he guides the company's organizational growth, strategic partnerships, and communications.
So my biggest piece of advice for someone, I think, is to get involved with as many activities as possible outside of the classroom and on campus as you can. Find something that aligns with your passion. You'd be really surprised, I think, what you explore.
Julian's biggest message during his talk was that even though he is no longer in journalism, the skills he learned today come in use and have helped him throughout his career.
A Springfield College student organization is fighting food waste on campus, and right now there's a competition that could win your team or club $1,000. SCTV3's Dante Iafredi has the story.
We are the Food Recovery Network.
Every day, dining halls across the country throw away hundreds of pounds of perfectly good food. At Springfield College, a student-run organization is working to make sure that doesn't happen.
What the Food Recovery Network is it's a program where we take the surplus food from Cheney, so food that has been cooked but has not been eaten by students, and we bring that food to here right in Dodge, and we recover that food, and then we bring that food to our Pride Pantry, just the floor below, and all that food gets sent out to Rachel's Table, which is a nonprofit located in Springfield, and they distribute it to their constituents. So not only does it solve the problem of food waste, but also the problem of food insecurity at the same time.
The Food Recovery Network collects surplus food from campus dining facilities and redistributes it to local shelters and community organizations. Students volunteer their time to make pickups and drop-offs happen, often the same day the food would have been thrown out.
But there's always a chance to grow, always a chance to do more, help out more people, get more food out, get more aid, supplies, stuff like that. So the more people we can get knowing about it, the more people we can help, the more food we can get packaged, the more it goes back to the Pride Pantry or to Rachel's table, just the more we can do overall.
And right now, Springfield students have a direct way to get involved. The Stock the Shelves Showdown, sponsored by Humanics in Action and the Food Recovery Network, is a campus-wide competition running through April 24th. The club or sport that donates the most wins $1,000.
If you want to, if you're not sure, stop on by, take a look at it. You don't have to commit to anything. This is a very, come if you can. If you can't, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to come, give us a hand. Maybe even just check it out. Go right ahead.
Whether it's volunteering, donating, or just spreading the word, organizers say every contribution makes a difference. For students looking to get involved, reach out to Michael DeJoseph or go to the Campus Union Dodge Room on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30.
The Stock the Shelf Showdown runs through April 24th. Any athletic team or club team can contribute, and the winner will walk away with $1,000. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Dante Iafredi.
The Springfield College Business Department's annual awards ceremony was held in the Dodge Room of the Campus Union early Monday afternoon. A heavy crowd showed up to see students get recognized for their hard work and success. Among the students to earn the awards were Katie Selecki, Jeremiah Singer, and Jake DeLuziers. Honorees were called up to the front of the room to receive a certificate, and a brief description of their background was read aloud. Many professors were in attendance across a number of departments on campus. Those who would like to learn more about Springfield College's business department can reach out to the department chair, Laura Katz, at lkatz@springfieldcollege.edu.
SC's Office of Student Engagement, along with the Campus Activities Board, helped kick Spirit Palooza off the right way with events all this week to keep students active and entertained. I went to get a closer look into what went on and what is still to come tomorrow and Saturday.
Spirit Palooza has been an annual event at Springfield College for many years. The event, formerly known as Stayuka, is a week full of events and games that bring the Springfield College campus together. Last year, the theme for the week was Spring Vibes, where all the events during the week were all related to spring. This year, CAB put on a little twist, as Spirit Palooza's theme for 2026 was Scooby-Doo. The week featured many events, such as Puppy Playtime on Monday, where students got to book sessions with their friends, where they could sit in the sun and enjoy some fun times with puppies that were brought to them in the pen. This event was from 12 to 3 right outside the Student Union. The next event of the week was held on Tuesday from 5 to 8 on the Naismith Green, as well as part of the Union patio. Crystal Cove Mystery Night had escape room-themed games on the Union patio, as well as an ice cream emergency truck that let students walk into the ice cream truck and pick out different flavors and make their own sundae. Last night, the famous Bring Anything But a Chair bingo was held in the Fieldhouse at 8 and was hosted by Fred and Scooby-Doo. Students were able to win a variety of prizes, which included a JBL speaker as the prize for the final game. While I was there, I was able to talk to first-year student Ben Catch about why he enjoys spending time with his friends at campus events like these.
I think this is really cool. I came with all my friends to this, and I did the puzzles yesterday. It's just really nice to hang out with some friends, do some cool events.
I also got the pleasure to speak with CAB's Cody Capalupo about why he thinks it's important to bring students together with events like these.
It's always nice to get the campus together. We're always big on spirit, mind, and body. I feel like that connects to the community. So being able to have all campus come together, have fun at bingo, win prizes for their dorms that they can use on campus and share with their friends. That's what we just strive to do.
Capaluso was also kind enough to tell me of some of the future events.
I can't talk about Welcome Back Week, but I can talk about Halloween Bingo is going to be very big this year, and Winter Wonderland is going to be another big one this year.
The events will continue all week with karaoke night being held right now on the Union patio. Tomorrow, from 9 to 11, Cheney will be open late for a late night Cheney chillin', and the week will conclude with the Peach Fest on Saturday from 4 to 7 on the Naismith Green. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Callan Wikander.
If you have any questions regarding CAB or Spirit Palooza, you can check out their Instagram at SCPrideCab.
While this week saw weather reach the low 80s, will we see the same thing again next week, or will the cool air pay another visit to Alden Street? We turn it over to SCTV3's Shane Barron in Studio B with our local and national weather update. Shane?
Here's your week ahead at Springfield College. And yeah, you're going to want that jacket and umbrella to start. Tomorrow, we'll see showers with a 65% chance of rain in the forecast, but we will still be warm, mid-70s before dropping into the upper 50s at night. Saturday calms down a bit, mostly cloudy, still cooler with a high of 65. Sunday and Monday both look wet again, 70% chance of rain each day. And temps start to fall off into the 50s Sunday and then down to the 40s by Monday. But here's the good news though. Tuesday through Thursday we turn back around. Sunny skies come back. Temps in the 50s to low 60s. So some of that solid spring weather to close out the week. Now for some national weather headlines. Cleanup is underway this morning in Miami County, Kansas, after reported tornadoes ripped through the area Monday night in Hillsdale. Dozens of homes and buildings were damaged with debris stretched across roads and fields. Video from the scene shows roofs torn off structures, sheet metal wrapped around trees, and utility poles left leaning after the storm. People who live there say it came fast and hard, leaving parts of the area completely destroyed. Emergency crews are now working to clear the damage and help families who were forced out of their homes. Officials say injuries so far have been minor, but there is still a lot of work to be done as the community begins to recover. Did you know that this month is National Occupational Therapy Month? Hear from one of our Springfield OT professors in this week's Q&A. You're watching SCTV3 Weekly News. Stay with us.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me. First night here, but Amy seems cool. Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see. What do you think? I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk. Jason, let's go see your room.
Like Shane said, this month is National Occupational Therapy Month. On campus, the OT professors are all ecstatic to share their passion for the field with anyone that is interested. I sat down with Dr. Amanda Rodriguez of the OT department to find out what the program means to her.
So I'm the undergrad program coordinator. So we are very intentional in how the curriculum is built. So like classes happen in a particular sequence for a particular reason. And so thinking about like theory comes first, and this is in the grad side, but theory comes first, and then we talk about like typical development and then atypical development. I became interested in occupational therapy probably in like, oh my gosh, like 2010-ish. I was the supervisor for a day program for individuals with mental health diagnoses, and we had OTs that came in and ran groups. And I was floored by what they were doing. Like everything that they did was pretty much what I was trying to do as a supervisor, but didn't have any evidence, background, theory, way of measuring outcomes or anything. And so they encouraged me to go back to school to be an OT. And I tell the story all the time to students. I was really confused about why I had to take A&P classes for like an OT program. Like I only knew the mental health side of things. And then I got into the program and I realized mental health is like this teeny tiny part of what OT is. And so it was seeing OT, being exposed to it, seeing the difference that it made for my mental health clients, individuals that I worked with, that really drew me to OT. But I am an outlier. Like they say mental health OTs are like 1% of the population of OTs. Oh, good question too. So I came to Springfield College, and being here is like such a dream come true. I went to another local institution, and as a practitioner, I took level 2 fieldwork students. Like the last internship that students do for their graduate program, I had 2 Springfield College students, and both of them were fantastic. Like they were really good at certainly like the knowledge skills, but also engaging with folks. And working in a mental health setting, like you've got to be a good person. And so the 2 of them were great people. And I was like, wow, the education from Springfield has got to be like over the top great. And so when an opportunity to work here opened up, I was like, this would be fantastic. Like to be able to bring my mental health perspective, the energy, which I have a lot of energy, and to a school that's already doing such great work and producing such great students and future occupational therapists, it was like a no-brainer for me. Yeah, what I think is great about Springfield is the humanics philosophy. So mind, body, spirit translates really well to OT. So, and myself as a educator, like the way that I educate students, I'm not just thinking about them in the classroom as a student, but I'm thinking about them as the entirety of their person. So, you know, some people have dogs or pets they have to take care of, or they're caring for sick family members. And so when I have students in the class, I'm aware that yes, they're a student in this particular time and space, but there's a lot of other stuff they've got going on. And so I teach from that mindset and thinking about how can I support the whole student? And that is so Springfield College with humanics, of thinking about the entire person, and then also thinking about the community people are in and how we give back. Something that makes Springfield very different, and I say this a lot in open houses, is in the undergrad program, we have practicum experiences. For accredited institutions at the grad level, that's when you need to have fieldwork. We call it level 1 and level 2. In undergrad, there's no requirement. You don't have to have any OT courses. It's only the grad stuff they look at. And so Springfield undergrad has the OT classes the first semester you get in, and pretty much every semester after that, except for 1 semester. And then in those classes, you're actually getting out into the field and practicing, seeing OTs, observing OTs, learning about what the profession is before you start grad school. It is an opportunity to tell people what OT is. It is an opportunity to, I don't know, it's like this little club with all the other OTs. Like when I see other OTs, the first thing I say is, hey, happy OT month. The really great thing is that every year we have our national conference in April, and so that's next week. So we'll be getting together with all the OTs, well, not all of them, but anyone who can make it to the conference, sharing the best in evidence-based practice. And then it's really, I don't know, like you leave that place and you feel like just like so energized about the profession. You get to bring it back to the students, and the students also sometimes are able to go to that conference as well. So like you really get like, I don't know, reconnected with like your why, your passion, and you're surrounded by people who like all love practice and all love, you know, doing the best that they can for their patients. And so it's really nice to learn from everyone and to feel like, okay, I don't have to explain what I do to anyone else that's in this building.
Dr. Rodriguez also hosts a podcast of her own to spread more information about her role in the field, and it can be found on all platforms. If you have interest in occupational therapy and want to learn more about it, you can email Dr. Rodriguez at arodriguez32@springfieldcollege.edu.
We now transition to this week's top national headlines. Tensions are rising yet again in the Middle East as a temporary ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran nears its deadline. With no agreement in place to extend it, diplomatic efforts are now ramping up. Tyler Semenich has the latest.
With the U.S.-Iran ceasefire set to expire in less than a week, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says there's currently no deal in place to extend it. The comment comes as Pakistani officials arrived in Iran to help arrange a second round of negotiations.
Discussions are being had, but nothing is official until you hear it from us here at the White House. But we feel good about the prospects of a deal.
The Trump administration is trying to increase pressure on Tehran with a military blockade at the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. Central Command posted on social media yesterday stating that during the first 48 hours of the blockade, no vessels made it past U.S. forces and 9 vessels had to retreat.
Straits of Hormuz have not been completely reopened, so we will see, and I'm optimistic that during the summer we will see gas with a 3 in front of it sooner rather than later.
CBS News spoke with tanker captain who has been stuck in the Persian Gulf since last February.
Sometimes it is so dangerous that in a span of 30 to 40 minutes, we have seen maybe hundreds of missiles passing over our head.
President Trump posted on social media China is, quote-unquote, very happy he is permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz, and added China has agreed not to send weapons to Iran.
She assured the president that they are not supplying Iran with weapons throughout this conflict, and that assurance was made to the president. It's obviously something the administration keeps close tabs on.
Last week, President Trump threatened countries with 50% tariffs if they supplied Iran with weapons. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Tyler Semenich.
As the clock ticks down on the ceasefire, all eyes remain on whether negotiations can be reached or if tensions in the region could escalate even further.
As the price of housing continues to rise in America, one company believes they have found a solution to provide affordable housing. With more on the story, our very own Shane Barron.
Say goodbye to hammer and nails and say hello to the future of home construction. That's what one company is saying as they have begun building completely 3D printed homes. The California-based company Azure Printed Homes has now ramped up construction after opening a brand new factory in East Denver. And with the expansion, they expect to create upwards of 7,000 homes each year, says co-founder Gene Eidelman.
One today and move in next month. We had a horse and a buggy, and we had a carpenter with a hammer and a nail. 100 years later, we drove EV vehicles, and we still have a carpenter with a hammer and a nail. So it's time for our industry to change.
Using large 3D printers and automated steel framing, Azure creates customizable, fire-resistant modern homes that can cost under $100,000. Colorado Governor Jared Polis is looking at this as a solution to combat rising housing prices, and even he is impressed by the production of the 3D printed homes.
They use little plastic pellets from recycled water bottles, and boom, out the other end come fully equipped homes.
Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Shane Barron.
As production ramps up, maybe we'll be seeing 3D printed dorms coming to Springfield College one day. Callan, would you ever live in a house like that?
I don't think I would. New studies have revealed that gambling rates are quickly rising in teens in the United States, creating a possible epidemic among those in their teens. SCTV3's Emma Bynes has more.
According to studies from Common Sense Media, gambling is once again on the rise, this time in teenage boys. The study reported that about 36% of boys between the ages of 11 to 17 have gambled in the past year. This number rises with age. Researchers found that the majority are being lured in through gambling ads on YouTube and social media platforms. Here's certified psychiatrist Sue Varma with more.
Key things to look for is that on the actual live game days, they get very irritable, they get very anxious, they suddenly become unavailable to you. You will be noticing that they're asking for more money, advances on their allowances. They might be selling things of their own that are very important to them, or they're coming home with a lot of cash.
Other warning signs in children include changes in sleep, hygiene, or grades, as well as use of other addictive substances. With online betting becoming a phenom sweeping the nation, do not expect this number to slow down anytime soon. For SCTV3, I'm Emma Bynes.
Despite being banned for collegiate athletes, the NCAA has discovered that over 30% of male Division III student athletes use sports betting software.
After the break, SCTV3's Shane Barron has you covered with another edition of SCTV3 Sports Extra.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember you threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Jason, let's go see your room.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Welcome to SCTV3 Sports Extra. Not only am I the weatherman, I'm also your host for today's sports show. And once again, I'm Shane Barron, keeping you updated on all things Pride Athletics. Here are some of our standout programs from this week. Women's lacrosse extended its win streak to 5 games after 2 massive wins, 18-7 over Salve Regina on Saturday and a 20-5 win against Emerson yesterday. Women's tennis both secured 2 wins apiece over the weekend, also against Emerson and Salve Regina. Now let's take a look at the athletes in action on Alden Street. Softball hosts Smith for a doubleheader tomorrow at 2:30 as well as 4:30 on Potter Field. Men's volleyball awaits its opponent as we speak, and they will face the winner of Buffalo State and New Jersey City tomorrow at 4 p.m. Women's lacrosse hosts Wesley on Stag Field Saturday. The Pride is riding a 5-game win streak as NUMAC postseason play rapidly approaches. And finishing off our home slate is women's tennis versus NUMAC foe MIT. Turning our attention to the teams on the road this week, men's golf travels to Providence, Rhode Island for the Rhode Island College Invitational. The Pride are coming off their best performance of the season yet. Men's gymnastics will compete in the NCAA championship for the 4th time in 5 seasons. Both golf and gymnastics are in action tomorrow and Saturday. Men's tennis battles Babson on the road for a 10:30 a.m. start time. And completing the away schedule is baseball, also heading to Rhode Island for a doubleheader against Salve Regina. All games can be viewed via Flow Sports. If you would like any extra information on Springfield athletics, head over to springfieldcollegepride.com. This week's Athlete of the Week interview is with Izzy LaLancette of the Springfield College women's lacrosse team. LaLancette has put together a great year so far, already scoring 34 goals, just one shy of her season last year. The junior standout sat down with SCTV3's River Mitchell before her team's blowout win at Emerson to talk about the season so far and what it will take to win a NUMAC title.
So Izzy, I know you're about halfway through the season so far. First question I got for you, I'm just curious, how's the vibe been? How's morale? How has it been just being around the girls in the locker room? How's that aspect of the season been going so far?
Yeah, I think when we started off the season, obviously not winning all these games right off the bat, it was a little hard because in previous years we've had crazy starts to the season, and all that. So we knew that there was eventually going to have to be a turning point. And I think we really made a lot of adjustments and started really going up. And I think our Babson game was just really a big proof to our team that we can do hard things and that we can really compete in the NUMAC.
Yeah, especially beating the number 17 ranked team in the country. And you mentioned how you started off the year slow, but you've won your last 4 in a row. What's been clicking for the team?
Yeah, I think just really working for each other, and I think that's a big part of our success. And I think obviously our coach is making a lot of adjustments on and off the field, and yeah, I think just a lot of things are actually starting to click.
And for you personally, you're almost at your goal total from last year with still several games to go. What do you think is the part of your game that's taken the biggest leap from last year to this year?
Yeah, I think something my coach has been telling me a lot is that I just don't take it too serious, and I think that's a big improvement from my game last year. I think I don't have that mental block anymore of oh my God, I have to live up to something that I had to prove freshman year, whereas this year I'm just kind of you know what, I'm just going to have fun and make the most of it. So
absolutely. And you're in a NUMAC conference with a team like Babson, as you mentioned, number 17 ranked team in the country. What do you think it's going to take for this team this year to win a NUMAC title?
Yeah, I think when our energy is good, there's nothing that can stop us, genuinely. So I think it's really going to be just based off of our energy and what we can bring to the table. And we know that we've now realized that we can do it and that we can do these hard things and beat these hard teams. So I think just carrying that with us.
Absolutely. And last question I have for you. You know, I always like to end these interviews with like a sort of a fun, lighthearted question. If you could have dinner with 3 athletes that are alive, doesn't need to be lacrosse, but could be, you know, any athletes that are alive, who would you be having dinner with?
Oh boy. I'd definitely say one, at least Charlotte North. I think she would be just really someone cool to talk to because she really turned the game around for women's lacrosse and just has done so much for this sport. Probably Tom Brady, he's just the GOAT. And I think Jason Tatum would be a good one.
Jason Tatum.
Because I think, like, especially with how many setbacks he's had, I think it would be cool to talk to him.
Absolutely. Well, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for joining me, Izzy. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Back to you guys in Studio B.
That will do it for this week's edition of SCTV3 Sports Extra. Stick around after the break to learn more about Alden Street Acapella and their most recent performance.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I respond to.
Communities must step up
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop a
normalization.
bully.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
April on a college campus is usually filled with energy and excitement. Warmer weather, blooming flowers, and students counting down the days until summer. But at Springfield College, April also marks the moment when months of hard work take center stage. Last Friday and Saturday night, the Alden Street a cappella groups brought that effort to life with their annual spring concert at the Fuller Arts Center. With music filling the auditorium, it was a clear sign that spring had truly arrived. SCTV3 reporter Caleb Knowles has the story.
There may be nothing more powerful than the sound of music. Rooted in emotion, music has the ability to tell stories, bring people together, and even move us to tears. It can mark moments of celebration or reflect on times of sadness. With hundreds of genres and millions of songs, each piece carries a story of its own. This past weekend, the Alden Street a cappella group at Springfield College showcased that power, performing their annual spring concert on Friday and Saturday nights in the Fuller Arts Center, drawing large crowds both evenings. A cappella groups offer a unique style of performance. Without the use of instruments or backing tracks, unless there's a solo calling for one, every sound is created by the human voice, making each performance both challenging and captivating. An a cappella group usually is broken down into 4 parts. The bass section is the lowest part. They're the foundation of the chorus. Usually, they sing notes like this. The tenor section is the medium to high section. Often soloists perform in this area. Notes in the middle high range. Then come the altos. They are the second highest range, and often they are harmonizing the sopranos. Notes like that. And then the soprano section, which is the highest range of vocalization, often the vocal leaders or soloists as well. They can go even higher than that. The Alden Street a cappella group is led by senior president Sierra Gatto, who delivered multiple standout solos in her final performance at Springfield College.
It's absolutely surreal. Being in this club for 4 years, it has meant so much to me, and it's awesome to do it with a new group of people and have it be so incredibly special.
Putting together a performance like this takes months of dedication. The group often rehearses 3 times a week for hours at a time, working to perfect every note. Student director Daniel Negrini Raji played a key role in selecting songs that balance both technical difficulty and musical elegance.
When we decide songs, it also based on the season. So like winter, we prefer doing slower songs, more calm, and like more sad in a way. And during spring, right now, I don't know if you noticed, very like upbeat song, very fast, and like very, very energetic.
The night was filled with emotion, especially for the seniors, who took the stage together for a final time. With a blend of both group songs and a mix of solo or small group performances, the night was a huge success for everybody. Senior Jana McKenzie, performing in her first and only a cappella concert, shared just how meaningful the experience was.
It was awesome. This was also my first show, so it was a little nerve-wracking, but the group is so great, and it's lovely spending time with them, and it was really cool seeing the show finally be really well put together this year.
Overall, the performance struck a perfect balance of fun songs and melodic songs, featuring lighthearted classics like Vienna by Billy Joel, sung by the seniors, along with powerful emotional moments like Nick's rendition of Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long.
The Alden Street a cappella group delivered a majestic night of music here on this stage in the Fuller Arts Center. Filled with harmony, energy, and unforgettable moments for the performers, they blew the crowd away. Be sure to keep an eye out for their next show coming up in the fall by following them on their Instagram at Alden Street a cappella. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Caleb Knowles.
That will do it for this week's edition of SCTV3 Weekly News. Thank you for joining us.
Be sure to go check out SCTV3 on YouTube and head over to the live stream section where you can watch every archive show. And be sure to follow SCTV3 on all social media platforms.
SCTV3 will be back next week with more weekly news and sports. We'll see you then, same time,